Hey everybody, this is John over at Cigar Advisor and Famous Smoke Shop, and today we're continuing our series on the Perdomo Craft Series of cigars. And today we're going to be smoking the third cigar in the lineup, the Perdomo Craft Series Maduro. Now with me is Tommy Z-Man and Kevin Beck, just like the last two videos, and let's get right into it, shall we boys? Now with the cigar we have a nice Nicaraguan Cuban-seed filler from Estelí. We have a Nicaraguan binder from the Condega Valley, and our Maduro wrapper is going to be from the Jalapa Valley. So what we should get is a nice mix between sweet and spicy, kind of a heavy-hitting cigar, but it's also going to have a nice sweetness to it and a nice aroma to it.
So we have a Nicaraguan puro. For those of you who don't know what that means, the puro is when all the tobaccos are from the same country, but as you know, John was saying, they're all from different regions, and those different regions grow tobacco that can taste completely different, right, from one another, even though they're from the same country, sorry. But and that happens because it depends where they are. Are they in the mountains? Are they in a low-lying field or farmland? Are they by the coast?
Volcanic ash or no?
Volcanic ash. I have a nice volcanic ash.
Oof.
We'll show you that later.
Should get some moisturizer.
That'll be on a different YouTube.
I love it. Look how much smoke is coming off.
Oh, I know.
Right from the start.
Really smoky cigar.
God, is this constructed amazing though, right off the bat? I mean, the smoke that's billowing out of this thing.
All three of them have been so far just absolutely amazing in terms of construction. You refer to the last two as baseball bats.
Yeah.
Because they're just so solid and I mean
solid, but the draws spectacular.
Now we've tested all three of these cigars beforehand to bring you this review, and I think it's safe to say that these smokes can be around, if you really take your time, around 2 hours. That's how well packed that they're built. It's a very long smoking cigar.
Yeah. And I know I'm typically usually a slower smoker to start with, so yeah, definitely for me it was up around that 2 hour mark.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I figured about an hour and a half, but it depends how you smoke.
Yeah.
It depends where you are, and if you're talking, if you're eating, if you're, you know, it all depends.
No, this is the Epicure, so but it looks more like a Churchill. It's like a thicker Churchill, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
What is the ring gauge? Do we know?
I think it's a 52.
Yeah, which is a little wider than a normal Churchill.
Yeah, I think it's a 6.5 or 7 by 52. But yeah, that's a pretty decent cigar.
But it burns amazing. I mean, you can see the way this is so even already right off the bat. So we want to talk about what we're getting right off the bat.
Yeah.
I'm getting pepper whacked.
Pepper,
Big time.
Yeah.
The two of us. You're not?
I mean, yeah, I'm getting pepper. I'm getting spice, but not like a ton of it. Not it's not smacking me with pepper. But I do see what you're saying. I get really earthy notes.
I was just gonna say that for real. You know, when you get this peppery, when you get this earthy, and it is extremely earthy, I think.
It is.
But we've smoked these, so we're gonna tell you it's gonna go away. And it's going to start to, as the burn goes down, that's going to start to smooth, right? And round out. That earthy and pepper is going to go away, and other stuff is going to start to happen. So the point is, all these cigars created by Nick are incredibly complex. The flavors and the notes change. And, you know, to make, I think, a cigar that goes with a beer, I think you have to make a complex smoke. Right?
Because beer has so many flavors that is encompassed in it. You need a cigar that kind of matches that, and that's why we chose to partner with Yard's Brewery in Philadelphia, because they make beer that is absolutely flavorful, off the charts, incredible. And today we decided to go with the George Washington Porter.
So we're going to drink this good stuff?
We're going to drink it, and as we pour, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Yard's Brewery. Again, we want to give them a big thank you for partnering up with us. We had also tried the first cigar with the Philadelphia Pale Ale, which we thought was incredible, and the Brawler, which was also incredible, with the Amber, sun-grown.
I mean, first of all, the color on that is like dark chocolate.
That is a lot of foam that you got there.
Well, I poured it like a knucklehead, but that is a dark, almost chocolate brown, right?
Now, for those of you that like a little bit of history, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about just this beer, because I think it's really cool. Now, this is called the George Washington Tavern Porter. Now, they have a whole line of beer surrounded essentially around, it's called the Ales of the Revolution.
Yeah.
Now, what it is they take the original recipes from some of our founding fathers, like Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin, George Washington, and they found their original recipes, and they had recreated it to the best of their ability to give you a taste of the beers that they actually brewed themselves. So it's an awesome concept coming out of the city that gave us our independence, Philadelphia. How cool is that?
I'm enthralled. No, it is cool. I mean, no, they didn't just make a beer.
Right.
You know, they set out to create something special, and they did. And these beers are fantastic. I've never had any of these beers before, and each one of them I liked more and more. But this, holy mackerel!
Yeah.
I mean, the flavor is that chocolate stoutish kind of flavor that's coming through, and you know, next we're going to talk about how it affects the taste of the cigar,
Right.
which it does a lot.
Now, but right before right before we tasted this beer, what did you get out of that cigar?
I was actually starting to get some chocolate,
Yeah.
like a little bit. That spice we were talking about, and even just, you know, a quarter of an inch or however far I'm into it, that spice is starting to recede and it's starting to mellow a little bit.
Yeah, already.
And I'm definitely getting those earthy notes, but I'm starting to taste like a chocolate already, you know? And it's sweetening up a little bit. Like I said, that pepper's starting to, it's still there, it's just not quite as kicky in the teeth.
Right.
You know, when you
Well, definitely
with the first
taking a
light
sip
up.
of the beer knocked that down real fast.
Right.
Made it like instantly smooth. I mean, it's truly amazing how this pairs so perfectly with this. They
Yeah.
were made for each other, and I know they were.
Yeah,
but
they
it's,
were.
it's pretty amazing. It really is. It's an experience, and we've talked about this in the other two series, the other two Craft Series cigars. That it becomes an experience now. It's not just smoking a cigar. When you start to pair, and even when you pair this with foods and stuff,
Oh, totally
it
different.
changes the taste, the complexity, the notes. It's pretty cool.
And I think this combination too, especially this time of year, really kind of starts reminding me of autumn, the weather changing, getting
Yeah.
a little cooler, and getting in with some of those Oktoberfest foods and,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the beers. Great.
Yeah, this was
great
extremely hearty. And
Yeah.
that's what you're right. I mean, this wouldn't go amazing with, like you said, like a pig done on a roast pig or any kind of those Oktoberfest sausages or stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Or take a sip first and then a puff, or
Yeah.
a puff and then a sip. Sip.
Cheers, boys.
Damn, that's good. And then the puff. It's like completely different cigar, isn't it?
I'm getting
It's still phenomenal, but it's just a different flavors going on.
that chocolate that he's talking about. I think it's amped up,
Yeah.
the chocolate, and I also get. I think it's from the actual beer itself, but I'm getting a fruity sensation. I said it in the last video, how I got like a dried cherries. This is like dried cherries and bourbon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like that black cherry flavor. I'm definitely getting that
Right?
now. That didn't come through at all at first, right?
No, not
No.
Now that it's down about an inch on the cigar and that we've been drinking, I'm getting a real, like a dark black cherry kind of like a heavy amaretto kind of that type of flavor. That's definitely there.
Which is interesting.
Remember-
Before I took a sip of the beer, I was just starting to get into like an anisette
Yes,
flavor.
there's also like a black licorice
Yeah.
almost component. I mean, you can taste it there. And once again, we've said it in the other videos, for those of you who are, kind of new to cigars or don't know as much yet and you're learning, when we say we taste those notes of black licorice and black cherry and anisette and things like that, they didn't put that in the tobacco blend. It's just the way that the leaves from the different regions they're from are married and blended and fermented. They just take on this characteristic of those flavors and those notes. Wine is the same way. Whiskeys are the same way. They can blend them to take on notes of all kinds of things.
Right, they blend it how they see fit. So they have an idea in mind, and they use tobaccos, and they go through countless blends. We've been on the receiving end of test cigars from manufacturers from all over the place, and they go through countless blends that we unfortunately have to smoke.
They never know. There's no science to this. It's all
Yep.
massive trial and error experimentation. It's very old world.
I have to believe when you're trying to blend a cigar that pairs with a beer, it's going to take a long time to get exactly what you want.
I don't
a lot
know
of
how
back
Nick-
and forth probably.
A lot of back and
yes,
forth.
I think there was
Testing.
You're
over
right
and
about
over
that.
A
again.
lot of hangovers.
tons of back and forth with this. I don't know how Nick and his guys did it, because this is
And Arthur Kemper. I
amazing.
think this was a Nick Perdomo and Arthur Kemper venture, and he's a hell of a guy too. So I think to combine those two minds together, you have a hell of a line.
These are just, guys, these are great cigars, and this is great drinks. And I say we just get hammered the rest of the day. I don't know why we would want to go back to work.
I think so too. So, okay, before we wrap up, what are your final thoughts? Just tell me your final thoughts real quick.
I want to start with Kevin.
All right,
I want to
Kevin.
hear what he says.
I think this is great. Again, I would probably have this after dinner.
Yes.
It's getting even more mild. I would say mild. It's
Smoothing out.
It's smoothing
It's
out.
toning down.
The more and more I smoke it, it's got such a nice solid white ash on it too. Even
So do I.
great,
Oh, my
great
cigar does too.
razor line burn on it. Again, like we said before, the construction is out of the park. And yeah, I think it's a great cigar. And as we said with any of those three in this line, I would feel real comfortable recommending this to anybody, novice, experienced smoker.
Right.
I think they're all 3 home runs.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the cigar. You got a lot of flavor up front when you first light the cigar. You have the pepper, all that stuff. But as you go down a little bit, it really, really settles.
It does.
It settles greatly. So you get the dark chocolate. You get the black cherry. And now, as I smoke even more of it, you get a nice creaminess or nuttiness to it, which is really, really enjoyable, and it really goes well with the beer as well. So
I think that, and the one thing they're not seeing is, because we've smoked these already, when you get halfway down, this really evolves.
It opens
and
up.
changes. Yeah, I think even last night we said we almost had kind of floral notes and different just flavors start to happen. It's so amazing.
really
That's
got
what's so cool. And then, but then you take a sip of the beer with it, and then it changes everything. I think I heavily recommend you trying pairing if you haven't done it, because a lot of times you'll have a cigar with a beer and something to eat, but try to do it intentionally. Pick up a beer like this from Yards and a cigar like this.
The best thing to do is take your favorite cigar and get a beer or scotch or whiskey. Guarantee that will not be your favorite cigar any longer. It'll change the flavors a little bit, but guaranteed you're going to want to go out, get another cigar, and pair it. And once you start pairing it with other drinks and stuff, and different cigars with other drinks, then you're going to find a completely different favorite with a particular pairing.
You find a new favorite cigar with that drink, or find a new drink with that favorite cigar.
True.
Absolutely.
Not all drinks you'll find go great with cigars, and everybody's different. Some guys love Coke with cigars. I can't stand soda with cigars. Some guys love, Dr. Pepper. I can't stand that, but other guys love it. It's all your own tastes. This is all subjective, guys, but the one thing we agree on that is non-subjective these are very complex and extremely well constructed with a lot of thought behind them and how the flavors change. That is not subjective. That's the real deal. These are great cigars.
Yeah, these cigars really got an ass on it.
Really. Nick Perdomo, how do you keep doing this? I don't know, but you do.
All right. Well,
So we good?
we're good.
Can we continue to get completely hammered?
While you get hammered, I'm going to go wrap up real quick. So, if you want to learn more on the Perdomo Craft Series of cigars, especially the Maduro, log on to www.famous-smoke.com and search in the search bar Perdomo Craft Series. We have all 3 lines right there that you can click and search and learn more about. If you want to learn more about Yards Brewery in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which again, huge thank you for the tour, for the beers that we get to try today. It really is an honor to work with you guys. Go to www.yardsbrewing.com.
Cool.
Cool.
We
Well
done?
set.
Should we
Cheers.
little clink?
Gross.
This is hard work, people, but somebody's got to do it. We do it for you, right, guys?
Oh yeah.
We do this for you guys.
All this is for you.
I'm telling you.
Now you can crack open your favorite beer and try each cigar in the Perdomo Craft Series line by picking up this 6-cigar sampler featuring 2 of each blend, on sale now for a limited time only. That's 6 Perdomo Craft Series cigars on sale only at Famous Smoke Shop.